Are you ready for the NRL round 18? Well, I am, so let's get into it. But first, a look back at round 17, where we saw some unusual results, let's just say. And we started on Friday, Bulldogs versus Sharks. I went for Sharks to win by 6. I didn't think they would win by a lot. But I was wrong because they didn't win at all. Bulldogs managed to win by 1 point. Insane finish. A great result for Bulldogs, though, because that really does push them up now into 6th place. Sharks are slowly dropping. They've been top for most of the season. Now they're down in 4th. So no points for me there, but well done if you are one that did pick up points. Next, we went over to New Zealand because it was Warriors versus Broncos. And I was certainly on the right lines of thinking. I know Broncos were doing all right, and they really needed that win. Amazingly, that has dropped Broncos by not winning. I did Warriors to win by 6. They actually won by 16. So I got the correct result. I did think it would be closer, but that's 1 point for me there. An interesting game. Really, really interesting game. It does seem like there is that effect sometimes when teams have to go over to Auckland. It's bizarre, but it happens. Next, I did Knights versus Eels, and I did Knights to win by 6. I thought it'd be a tight game. I did think it'd be a tight game. And there we go. There it was. Knights won by 8. So I get 1 point for the win and half a point for a close score. Fantastic match. That would have been a fantastic match to watch. Really, really intense, high-scoring game. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, especially for the fans, especially for the Knights fans. 1.5 points for me there. Next up, Storm versus Raiders. Storm are now starting to push away for sure. Raiders have gone bosh, straight down. They are really, really struggling. They can still, if they turn form around in the last load of games, then they could still do it, but I can't see it happening. Storm, I did to win by 18. They only won by 10, which is annoying. So I get 1 point for the win. Well done to Storm there. Next up, Sunday, we had Dragons versus Dolphins. I did Dolphins to win by 4. Okay, yeah. It didn't go like that because Dragons battered them. Absolutely battered them by 20. Well done to the Dragons. That pushes them up to 8th level now with the Dolphins. It is all to play for. It really, really is. So I get nothing for that one. Next, I'm gutted because I did Panthers to win by 6 against the Cowboys. And actually, it was a game where I did think it would be close. Cowboys are there or thereabouts, aren't they? They are currently now in 5th place. They're not a bad team, but I thought Panthers would have had the quality to overdo them and beat them. Unfortunately not, because Cowboys won by 10, so I get absolutely nothing. Gutted, and that's pushed Roosters, which you'll see in a minute, up to 2nd, and Panthers down to 3rd. Last game, though, was the Roosters versus West Tigers. As predicted, I didn't think it would be this much of a victory. I did Roosters to win by 12. They won by 34. And actually, 3 people got a close score. So well done to you. That is a big, big scoreline to predict. So well done. The league table then after round 17. And we have movement. We have movement. That is incredible. Coolbajul has been knocked off the top spot. Oh my God, I didn't think that was going to happen. St. Jai has gone up 2 places. Must have had a monster week. St. Jai is up 2. Coolbajul down 1. Up 2 is Brupel. Adelaide Bulldogs stays in 4th. Aussie Tash. Bad week for Aussie Tash. Down 3. I thought Aussie Tash was potentially going to get into that top spot, but not quite. Let's see. Hacksaw gets the golden hat this week. Well done. Up 7. K-Power down 3. G Chapman up 4. Down 4 is VamH and AU Beach Bum. Unlucky. Down 4 is WM Footy NRL. Johan is up 3. Pie Boy is up 4. Rhymeester down 3. I'm up 2. I'm in the top 20. Get in there. Now for the top 10. Can I make top 10? 85.83. 9. I could do it. If I have some good weeks, I could do it. I could break the top 10. Probably not, but I could do it. Down 4 is Stormy May. Down 4 is Moppy G. Any other big movers? Let's see. Here we go. I'm just showing everyone who gets the wooden spoon, though, this week. That is the question. At least it's not me. Ajax. Ajax gets the wooden spoon this week. So round 18 starts on Thursday the 4th of July and it is at the Combank Stadium in Parramatta. It is Eels versus Rabbitohs and look at that form that Rabbitohs have on. They've gone from bottom to 14th. They could keep flying if they keep this form up. Imagine if they manage to squeeze into the finals. How insane. That will be an incredible story if they do, wouldn't it? There's just not a lot going right for the Eels at the moment. They're stuck in 16th place. They just can't get results at the moment. Whereas obviously Rabbitohs, they are playing so well. Yeah, like I said, they could make that unlikely push for the playoffs, which is insane. And I can't see them losing today. I can't see them losing on Thursday. So they've got to beat the Eels. They've got to. I don't think it would be by loads. So I'm going to do Rabbitohs to win by 6. That will just be funny. I just want it for the sheer story of how they were rock bottom for most of the season and then make the playoffs. That would be just an incredible story and be quite funny, quite frankly. So Rabbitohs by 6. Next up, Friday in Sydney, Sharks versus Titans. Titans obviously did come off a win last time, and Sharks are really, really struggling. They need to work their backsides off now to even stay in the playoffs. It's almost the opposite story to the Rabbitohs. They should do enough, though. They should. You know, they certainly have more quality, okay? They've had nervous moments, let's just say, the Sharks have had, haven't they? And they have struggled to play their best rugby. They've struggled. This is the funny thing, the Titans have actually the same form as Sharks in the last 7 games here. And the Titans could push the Sharks. Titans have got results where you wouldn't necessarily have thought them getting results. So they could push the Sharks. So bearing that in mind, I still think Sharks should win. I'm going to do a Sharks win by 4. Thinking that the Titans could push them. How is that a difficult one to call? Titans who are in 15th, having a tough season against Sharks who were 4th and been top most this season. But it is a tough call because Titans have shown that they can push teams. So there we go. Sharks by 4. I don't know. Next up, Suncorp Broncos versus Panthers. Panthers, what the hell happened last week? Disappointing to lose last week for sure. We're sitting in 3rd on 20 points as well. Broncos with 4 losses in a row. It's just annoying because the Panthers showed nothing last week. They didn't show any ability last week against Cowboys, which was so disappointing. And so that was concerning. I do think that was concerning. They are the favourites to beat Broncos, who obviously haven't won in 4 games. They are struggling as well. Broncos were in a position where actually they were going up. They were struggling and then found form, but it's just hit them. It's hit them badly. It's a rematch of last year's grand final, which I was at, which you can see at the end screen on my vlog. This is a tough one as well. I don't know why it's a tough one. You know, yes, you've got the fact that Broncos are at home, but they're on bad form. Panthers, a really disappointing result last week where they didn't actually turn up, but I've got to go with Panthers. They're my team. Panthers to win here by 6. They could obliterate them. It could be a tight one. I don't know. But I'm going to go with the Panthers win by 6. Oh, that's different. There is some difficult calls this week. Saturday, Stadium Australia, it is Bulldogs versus Warriors. It's almost an identical form, that is almost identical. Warriors currently in 10th. They're fighting for playoffs. Bulldogs are in 6th. They are also fighting for playoffs. Wow, this is a difficult game. I don't know. Oh my God, this is really, really rough. At least the next game after this is an easier game to pick. I think Bulldogs have played better over the last few weeks, which is good for them, which puts them... Okay, maybe they're in 5th spot. I think you can't see this on your screen, but I think the standings are sometimes wrong that Super Brew is showing me in the league table. So just if I do get the position slightly wrong by 1 or 2, it's because that's what they're showing me and that's what I'm looking at right now, and it's the easiest thing to see. So, so it is solid improvement, right? From what was a struggling club. But facing a Warriors side is not an easy task, is it? It's not an easy task. I think any team that faces the Warriors, it's not an easy task at all. And Warriors are a 10th place team at the moment. So, you know, they've not been the most consistent of teams, but I think they can possibly get a win. I'm going to go with a tight win for Warriors here. I'm going to go with a 2-point win for the Warriors. That's another really difficult one to call. Like this week is very, very difficult indeed. 2-point win for the Warriors. Okay, next game at the Leichhardt Oval in Sydney. West Tigers versus Storm. Okay, Storm are winning this. Do we discuss? Tigers got absolutely hammered by Roosters last week, who are now sitting in 2nd. And Storm are an even better team. Storm are playing very, very, very good rugby this season. And there is... Yeah, they shouldn't lose. They should see Tigers off here. So it's how many? Let's be reasonable. Storm by 18. 3 tries, 3 conversions. I think that's fair. That's not being offensive to Tigers. So Storm to win by 18. I don't think I need to even talk about it anymore, but Storm playing incredibly well. Next up, Queensland Country Bank Stadium, Cowboys versus Sea Eagles. I don't know how Sea Eagles are even still in 9th place, to be honest. I really, really don't. Cowboys are starting to really put it all together. Currently in 5th on 18 points. They really, really, like I said, just gelling and starting to put it together, finding that form. They are 5 wins in the last 7 games, which is decent. They should win here. They should win here against a Sea Eagles side who... They just don't seem to have that sort of cohesion. They've got no momentum. And they're struggling. So I've got to go with a Cowboys win here. And I'm going to go with a Cowboys win by 10. 2 wins, 1 conversion. 10-point win for the Cowboys. Next up, Sunday, Allianz Stadium in Sydney. Roosters versus Dragons. Roosters, wow, they're doing well. They are doing really, really well. Now sitting in 2nd place. That could change because Panthers and Sharks have a game in hand. The worst case is probably down to 4th if they don't win. I think both teams pretty much identical form, but as I said, Roosters are the dominant side here. They have the quality. St. George, at the end of the day, they come off a win against Dolphins, so well done to them. That's really, really good. The attack was poor on both teams, but Dragons do defend well. So I think that's going to play a part on the pick. Either way, it's going to be a Roosters win. But let's do it by 10. If Dragons can just keep tight, they stand a chance. But Roosters by 10 on this one, I think. Last game, though, of the week is Raiders versus Knights. And I can't see past the Knights here. GIO Stadium, Raiders have plummeted as well. There are teams that have just gone down after a fairly good start from them. I just can't see them winning. They're struggling to play consistent football. Sorry, it's not football. I'm not one of these rugby league fans that calls it football. I don't know why I just said that. They're struggling to play consistent rugby. Both teams actually struggling to play consistent rugby because they're currently in 12th and 13th. But I just don't see anything in Raiders at the moment. And they could get a surprise win here. I'm just going to go with the fact that Knights won their last game. It was only against the Eels, but they did win. 6-point win for the Knights. That's not an easy one to call either. A very, very difficult week to call this week for sure. But here are my picks. Rabbitohs by 6. Sharks by 4. Panthers by 6. Warriors by 12. Storm by 18. Cowboys by 10. Roosters by 10. And Knights by 6. Well, Storm is the only team there that I think should win fairly comfortably. But others, I could go either way. It's a difficult win. You're either on the winning side or the losing side on this week. Some really, really tough picks. But I'm so glad to be in the top 20 now. And hopefully I'm going to fight for the top 10. I'm coming for you lot in the top 10. Hopefully it's a good week. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you so much for joining me once again, guys. You lot that have stuck around each week have been awesome. Awesome. Good luck. Hopefully you do worse than me so I can push up the table. I will catch you next time. Goodbye.